I had found a friend who had gotten out of politics, and she opened a yoga studio, and she took me through therapeutic yoga for cancer. She helped me with Pilates to gain strength after, you know, I was atrophied and emaciated. I'd been radiated twice. I made no lifestyle changes. I was drinking and not sleeping. I was stressed out, and I knew fear for the first time in my life. And so I did yoga. I learned to meditate. And we surrender our power when we turn ourselves over to someone who has education beyond ours. And you know what? I'm not knocking the doctors. I know many very talented physicians who are committed to their work, and they are committed to high percentage therapies that they've been taught. I wasn't able to understand the role of emotion in my cancer development until I understood the role of emotion in cancer development. And I read several books that pointed to this physician who in the 1970s developed this model of cancer development. His name was Dr. Carl Simonton, and he was a radiological oncologist and dealt with a lot of cancer patients. And he believed that our emotions play a role in the development of cancer. And he developed a system to reverse negative emotions. And then I read Lawrence Rossi, Psychoneuroimmunology. It's a great book, which is Western medicine's attempt to come up with a mind-body, right? Psychoneuroimmunology. Well, it's really just mind-body. It's really it's a Western look at Eastern modalities. But he said in his book, and I quote him in mine, if you ask an endocrinologist to give you a serious answer, they'll tell you that the hypothalamus and the limbic system under mental stress of repressed emotions will create neurochemistry. Your neurotransmitters will develop neurohormones that speak to the pituitary, the endocrine systems, and suppress your immune system.
Oh my God.
And as we know through epigenetics, it will alter your gene expression. He took as the assumption that there's an emotional basis. And with that assumption, he began to alter his hypnotherapy practice in order to regress people back. And what he found was, because trauma is cumulative, what he found was he could regress easily to a more recent emotional trauma. But that's not enough. You have to dig, you have to go deeper, you have to go to the initial trauma, because subsequent traumas have accumulated on top of it. And until you get at that initial trauma, you cannot get fully return to your powerful immune system. You see, we have cancer cells, all of us do. They're mutations. Mm-hmm. And a healthy immune system zaps them, knocks them out, kills them. It's when our immune system is suppressed by some emotional trauma that we're no longer able to kill these mutations, and they grow very quickly and mutate into a tumor. And then, you see, then Western medicine wants to cut it out, poison it, and burn it.
And that doesn't work because the root cause is still there.
The emotions, they're still there. So when it comes back, Carolyn Meese, M-Y-S-S, Carolyn Meese, she says Why We Don't Heal. She wrote a book on Why We Don't Heal. You can see her YouTube, it's still on Why We Don't Heal, and she says forgiveness. And oftentimes we hold on to these things, and it's poisonous to our immune system to hold on to anger and pain. I read the Dalai Lama's Healing Anger. I read Carolyn Meese's Anatomy of the Spirit. The forgiveness is a very powerful tool. I called people and forgave them, and they weren't ready for it, and they misunderstood, and it didn't matter. I forgave them anyway.
Because
it's me. Yeah, it wasn't them. It had nothing to do with them. You receive it as you will. I hope you will. I hope you will receive it positively, but it's not about you, it's about me.